What's up, guys? It's Mac from MacTheMovieGuy.com, and I'm going to be doing a video review of the movie Sleight. It is the new horror film in theaters this weekend. I say horror like that because I didn't really find it horrifying. It's not really gory at all. It's not really violent or scary. It doesn't really have any of the elements that a horror film has. It is very genre bending though. It has a lot of different elements from, you know, romance and action and thriller. It feels very indie, but it just doesn't feel like a horror film. I think it's being called a horror film because it's being produced by Blumhouse, which is really odd because I don't know why they would produce this, but good for them for putting this out to a wide audience. And the WWE produced this, which again, why? It's two of the weirdest production companies behind this film. But Sleight is about this street musician named Beau, played by Jacob Latimore, who is struggling to support himself and his little sister after their mom passed away a year ago, and his dad is already long dead, much before that. And he uses street magic during the day to raise money, and he sells drugs at night. He works for a drug dealer played by Dule in the film. So the movie just sort of explores how he is evolving as a magician a little bit, and how he doesn't want to be in the drug business anymore, and he's got this girlfriend and he's got to get out and all that stuff, but he makes a bad decision and his sister's in trouble, and he can't get out from underneath it. So he's got to rely on his magic. This film's been compared a little bit to Chronicle, which I think is an unfair comparison because I think Chronicle had a lot more action in it. This film doesn't really have a lot of action set pieces. It has some interesting moments, for sure. Some moments where they definitely threw down some money in the budget to make things look cool and make things happen. But for the most part, this is a really slow movie. Like, it's one of my complaints is that this was a little slow for me. Yeah, it moved at the pace that a lot of indie films do when they're trying to be like a meditation on life and character and like who we are. But I didn't think that worked for this film because this film was trying really hard to be more of a thriller, to be more of a suspense, and has these moments where it like spurts forward in the plot and then just moments where it just sort of flatlines and drags. So pacing was definitely an issue for me with this film. And the other thing I didn't really like about the film was the constant use of fade to black, which is way overused in this film. Like, it's like that's the only cut that they know how to do sometimes. It's in the weirdest places. It's just like fade to black, fade to black, fade to black. I don't know what the purpose was of having that many fade to blacks, but I think there's got to be at least 10 or 12 just in the edits. I'm not even talking about like the final one, which is okay, that's fade to black, you know, I mean, it's the final one, but this movie just uses it throughout, which is unnecessary, completely unnecessary. I hated the ending. And I also became less interested in the film once I knew the science behind his magic. I don't want to spoil that, but let's just say he's not like a mutant superhero. There is a reason to his magic, and once I knew the trick, I wasn't as impressed. And maybe that's why magicians don't reveal their secrets. Maybe that's the truth, is that once you know the trick, it's like, oh, is that it? Oh, that's kind of dumb. That's kind of how I felt. And then I actually thought the film ended really well, right up until a point. It has a shot where it zooms in, and we've already seen it once. It's this like Houdini poster, and we were like closing in on it and zooming in. I was like, Houdini, and I was like, oh great, we're done. And then there was like another scene. It was like the scene felt so forced and unnecessary. I'm positive it was done in reshoots. I'm positive that the original ending to the film was the Houdini poster, and then later on somebody was watching a cut of the film and they're like, no, there might be a sequel, so what we really need is like that sequel scene that sets up the sequel. You don't have that, so we gotta shoot the sequel scene. Because there's only one person in the final scene, so it would have been an easy reshoot. It just ruined it. Ruined the ending. Yeah, so I think, to talk about the good in the movie, I think the film does a great job of balancing genre. I appreciate what it did and how well it did it. How you can't really put it in one genre. Like if I was working at Blockbuster and somebody was like, put this on the shelf, I'd be like, I don't know where to put it. I wouldn't put it in horror, but I'd be like, drama? Thriller? Romance? I don't know where to put it. So it doesn't really fit into a specific genre. So good for you for that. Also, Jacob Latimore is great in this. He's a star. This is like, watching him in this was like kind of like watching Michael B. Jordan in Fruitvale Station. Like, I'm positive that this kid is going to break out. And the funny thing is, Michael B. Jordan was in Chronicle. So this is kind of like Jacob Latimore's Chronicle in a way. And I'm sure he's going to get an indie film that's like Fruitvale Station for him later on. And he will explode from there. Yeah, the kid's definitely a star. He has so much charisma. He's really likable. He comes across as a really good guy. Dule Hill was actually really effective as a villain. I didn't think he would be. I've never really seen him play a bad guy before, but he was really good at playing sort of like a smarter villain. And I really liked that. Sasheer Zamata from SNL plays a supporting role dramatically. She did okay. I thought she did a good job with that. I was kind of interested to see her do something that wasn't just slapstick comedy, so that was interesting. So the acting's good. There's some really cool effects with his magic tricks, and I applaud sort of the originality behind the film. I just think there's some pacing issues and some editing issues. I definitely would not applaud the director for his ability to direct, because I think this film needed a better director. But I think it's a pretty decent film. It's not great, it's not amazing, but if you're looking for something to see this weekend, I would definitely recommend Sleight over The Circle. I'm gonna go ahead and give Sleight a B. Alright, so that's my review of Sleight. If you want, you can also check it out on MacTheMovieGuy.com, where I'm going to have a written review of Sleight. Don't forget to subscribe for future reviews. I'm hoping to still get to see How to Be a Latin Lover this weekend, maybe also The Lost City of Z. Might be getting reviews up of those, so go ahead and subscribe, so when those happen, you'll know. Otherwise, I will definitely see you next weekend for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Who's excited about that? Alright, until then, peace out, yo.